Will STI be testing the $50 levels by the end of this week, or is this a ticker which is glory days are behind it? You should be locked in profits and walking away from. What's up, trading friends? Today, I'm discussing STI under 3 different lenses: the why, the what, the where. The why, we're going to be doing a catalyst breakdown. The what, we're going to be doing some stock analysis. The where, I'm going to be telling you guys where to get in and where to get out. So without further ado, hit the thumbs up button, and now let's get into it. So when it comes to STI, guys, this is a ticker which is up over freaking 600% the past 2 days, right? So what the hell is really going on when it comes to STI? What's actually happening and what's driving this massive price volatility for this ticker? As always, we want to talk about the why first, because in order to predict the future, we first need to understand the past. If we can't analyze why a ticker is up to begin with, then we can analyze whether or not it's going to be able to actually hold on to these gains and whether or not these gains are actually going to be sustainable for the stock, or is it just going to be a stock which is here today, gone tomorrow? In the case of STI, this is a ticker which is running based off of some solid news, both market trend wise and also specific company news. So let's go over here and let's read exactly what's going on over here. So it says, so first things first, it says slowdown focuses on substantial growth, seeks strategic investor for advanced solid state battery commercialization. So it says an advanced battery technology solution provider. Today reaffirmed its commitment to protect. Okay, so we don't care about that, right? This is actually the second piece of news, right? The second piece of news, which for me, I think is probably the most, some would say is really a lot more important. So what basically happened over the weekend is that, we had China come out and say, hey, you know what? We're not going to be, we're going to be putting tariffs on Chinese goods that go out when it comes to lithium batteries and everything like that. So pretty much what this does is that this creates a massive amount of demand for lithium and companies that are creating batteries outside of China, right? Because now all of a sudden these are companies that are actually discounted compared to the Chinese products, considering that the Chinese products are going to be, taxed, right? Based off of the tariffs that China has put on the metals, right? The rare earth metals. Now, with that said, so this was the news that it was initially running on. Then, I always tell you guys, man, STI historically, and if you watch my previous STI videos, I've always been hypercritical of STI, right? And why have I been hypercritical of STI? Because, it is usually a pump and dump stock. Just as fast as it comes, just as fast as it fades away, because the company doesn't know when to stop freaking diluting. The company is constantly pressing the dilution button. The moment the stock goes up, they add supply and the stock ends up dying down. Over and over again. My friends, the stock market moves very simply, okay? It's very simple rules. Supply and demand. When demand is increasing and supply is limited, prices go up. But when you have a company that is matching the supply, no matter how much demand there is, they're matching the supply, so how much supply they're pouring into the markets, then what happens? Well, obviously the stock's going to be either flat or it's going to start falling down, right? And that's usually what we get anytime we have price volatility in STI to the upside. So if you've seen one of my previous STI videos where I have been hypercritical of STI, it's just simply been because of the dilution, right? And I think, it was sitting at $8 when I made that video. And guess what? It went all the way back down to freaking 4. So clearly, I was right at the time. But look, right now I'm wrong because it's sitting at almost $30 a share, right? So what the hell's going on right now? And what is different about STI this time? Well, the company came out and says some solid stuff. Says Solidion Technology will avoid substantially dilute share sales, right? So the company intends to shun highly toxic financing structure and may consider long-term or strategic partners for future capital needs. So this is exactly what we want to see, right? We want to see a company that goes ahead and actually takes a stance against dilution, right? A company that says, hey, you know what? We actually care about our shareholders, right? I mean, listen, reaffirmed its commitment to protect shareholder value by avoiding financing structures that could result in substantial dilution to existing investors. This is what you want to hear, man. This is exactly what you want to hear. This is extremely bullish because it rids people of the fear of the elephant in the room, which is, hey, you know what, man? This is a company that needs money. How are they going to get this money? Okay, they're going to screw me over by selling shares. Because let me tell you something. When you go over here and you look at the company's finances, based off of their most recent SEC filings, this company's broke as a joke. The company right now has negative $1.8 million in the bank, and they're burning $1.63 million every single quarter. So they need money. They have no months of cash left on it. They need money. So it's essential for the company to come out with this, reaffirming statement, because it goes ahead and it puts it into perspective that, hey, listen, don't worry, we're mindful of the shareholder value, right? We're mindful of keeping the shareholder value. Now, some of you guys may say, Sam, doesn't every CEO care about their stock price? Doesn't every CEO care about stock price? No, they do not, because the stock is not the company and the company is not the stock. Okay? What do you mean by that? Let's take a look, right? David. Let's take a look at this. I've pulled this up before. So it says David Micheri bought a private jet while Mullen tanked last fall. While we all know that Mullen's CEO is a big fan of flying on private jets, to the point of practically starring in a commercial for one, not many know that while Mullen shares were falling from $10 to pre-split of 40 cents on November 1st, 2022 to $4.70, David Micheri bought himself a private jet. Okay? Now, listen, Mullen since then has actually changed its name. Do you know what it's called now? It's called Binny. All right? So let's take a look at Binny over here. All right? If it decides to freaking pull up. Guys, my Wi-Fi has been a pain in the butt is what it's been. Let's see if we can take a look. I think they may have delisted it just recently. This is the worst. But I mean, if you take a look at the stock Binny, right? They've just had dilution, reverse split, dilution, reverse split, dilution, reverse split, dilution, reverse split. Because what you guys got to understand is that, like I was saying, right? The stock is not the company and the company is on the stock. And majority of these CEOs, the way they get paid is from the company. And there are certain things that are good for the stock that are good for the company. And there are certain things that are good for the company that are good for the stocks. However, there are also things that are good for the company that are bad for the stock. How could something be good for the company but bad for the stock? For example, right, going back to what we were talking about earlier, right, over here when it comes to STI and what the CEO said regarding STI, they could go ahead and raise a shit ton of capital by selling shares, right? By selling shares at a very discounted amount. So who gets the money? Well, while the stock is cut in half because now there's a massive overhead supply of the stock, the company gets all the money, so then the company can go ahead and, do freaking research and development and, do this and do that, and for the CEO to go ahead and buy a private jet or whatever it may be. So you guys kind of got to understand that this is how things go, right? This is how things go majority of the time. So the company taking a stance against this is absolutely bullish. Now, has the stock already kind of priced in a lot of this? And are we going to hear about dilution sooner than later? Yes. So for me, I think around the $30 levels, it's not a buy. I'm staying far away from it. And I think that it's one of those tickers which there are better tickers in the market to trade. Now, at the end of the day, guys, I am a very conservative trader, right? So this level of risk at these levels it's extremely unlikely for me to ever go near it. But that's just my take. And I think that right now at these levels, it's more of a profit-taking place, aka selling place, than a buying place. Okay, if you ask me, right? And that's it. So if you're holding the sticker, I wish you guys the best of luck. Now, listen, I trade almost every single day. Okay, I trade almost every single day. If you guys want to trade alongside me and see exactly what I'm buying, exactly what I'm selling, do check out our community, because our Discord right now, which will give you access to our alerts, to our day trade alerts, our let's go over here, day trade alerts, swing alerts, option alerts, lessons, one-on-one access, mentor Q&A, everything like that, is on a 50% sale right now for the next 10 members that join. So if you guys are interested in checking it out, check it out right now. Now, listen, previously we used to offer a 7-day free trial. Listen to what Wilson said. Wilson said, "Hi Sam, thank you for all work on our community. My 7 days trial finished. It was great. I thank you for the membership after this week. Brought in 7K in 7 days off of a free trial." Now, we don't do a 7-day free trial anymore. You know why? Because now we do a 2 weeks free trial and a 30 days money back guarantee. You heard that right. Shout out Yanap. She did some math today, and she said after 2 months, her portfolio has been up 134%. Amazing, 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 wonderful. Great call, brother, says Lewis Bullpick running $184. SOUX, what a fucking banger. Making my account look fucking insane. Let's fucking go. That's what I'm talking about, my man. There we go. SOUX, this is again SOUX. Yesterday, my man was very happy about it. He said, solid 40% gains accounting on a fat position. Let's fucking go. Long Bong Tio says, I've been trading for a while, but with little knowledge. Starting to make bigger plays after joining this group. I might keep my membership after my free trial ends. $12,000 in the past week. And I had to page him a little bit. I had to go like, bro, man's up 12K talking about I might. And he's like, I can shave some gains off to cover the cost. Let's go. That's what I'm talking about. Shout out my man Film Daddy. He brought in $124,000. He brought in $124,000, guys, off of a trade. He says, let's go over here. He says, I've been trading data as far as mistakes I made, but I'm happy to report since joining this community, I've completely turned my portfolio around. I'm now up 100% of all time on my trading account. Wonderful, man. Wonderful. This is what you want to see, man. You know, this type of results that you want to see. Justin said this is literally last Friday. He says 4th week as a member, 4th straight week exceeding my $2,500 weekly goals. Wonderful, man. Wonderful. God bless. God bless. You know, I'm so proud of what we built. My man Siwa says, thanks, Portrait SSM, always on point and winning. 9.24%. Single month. And you know, that's October, and October just really started as well, right? Really good, really good. This is on Wednesday last week. He says, really good trade today. Also hit my 50K milestone. Thanks to Object Canada. Started with a small 10K account at the beginning of the year with no experience. Wonderful, 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 man. God bless, God bless, God bless. Anyways, I look forward to meeting you guys in the community. Once again, 2 weeks free trial, 30 days money back guarantee. Right now, next time members, 50% discount. Doesn't get any better than this. Thank you for watching. Have us in trading. Your boy Sam.